Daniel Cooper stood quietly beside the breathtaking waterfall his grandfather had treasured for decades. After inheriting nearly 4,800 acres, he planned to preserve the land for future generations. The peaceful forest had always been a place of family memories, but someone else had already begun treating it like their own business. One weekend, Daniel noticed dozens of unfamiliar cars parked near the trail. Families were walking toward the waterfall, carrying admission tickets. Confused, he decided to follow the crowd. What he discovered left him completely stunned. At the entrance, a large sign read, "Waterfall Access, $15 per person." Visitors happily paid without asking who owned the land. Daniel watched in disbelief as money was collected on his property. He knew something was seriously wrong. Daniel calmly walked toward the ticket booth. He politely asked who had authorized the entrance fees. Karen confidently claimed the HOA controlled the entire area. Daniel stayed silent, carefully listening to every word. Karen insisted the waterfall belonged to the neighborhood association. She proudly explained that visitors had been paying for months. Daniel simply nodded without revealing the truth. His next move would surprise everyone. Daniel quietly returned home with dozens of questions. He unlocked an old wooden cabinet filled with family records. Inside was the original certified deed passed down by his grandfather. Every answer was waiting inside those documents. The deed clearly included the waterfall and thousands of surrounding acres. Every boundary matched the official county survey. Daniel smiled, knowing the law was on his side. Now it was time to protect his family's land. The next morning, Daniel met with an experienced property attorney. Together they reviewed every survey, deed, and county record. The evidence was complete and impossible to ignore. A legal challenge was officially prepared. A formal legal notice soon reached the HOA office. Karen laughed, convinced it was only an empty threat. She believed every permit protected their actions. She had no idea what the deed would reveal. On the day of the hearing, the courthouse was packed with spectators. Local reporters gathered to cover the unusual property dispute. Daniel walked inside, carrying only one leather folder. Everything depended on the papers inside. The judge carefully examined the original deed and county records. Every page confirmed Daniel's family had owned the land for generations. The courtroom became completely silent. Karen's confidence slowly faded. Karen's attorney argued that HOA permits authorized public access. Daniel's lawyer calmly explained that permits never replace ownership rights. The judge listened carefully to both arguments. Every statement mattered. A county surveyor presented official boundary maps. The waterfall appeared clearly inside Daniel's property lines. There was no conflicting evidence. The facts spoke for themselves. Karen quietly reviewed the evidence once again. She realized the HOA had relied on incorrect assumptions. Months of ticket sales had taken place on private property. The courtroom remained silent. Daniel remained respectful throughout the hearing. He never interrupted or celebrated too early. He trusted the legal process to reveal the truth. His patience impressed everyone present. After reviewing every document, the judge announced a decision. Daniel's ownership rights were fully confirmed. The courtroom fell completely silent. Justice had spoken. The judge ruled that private property rights must be respected. No organization could charge admission without legal authority. The decision reinforced the importance of accurate land records. The case was finally resolved. Outside the courthouse, reporters rushed to interview Daniel. His calm response earned admiration from many people. The story quickly spread throughout the community. Everyone wanted to hear his side. Daniel thanked his attorney for protecting his family's legacy. Years of careful record-keeping had made all the difference. Preparation had preserved generations of history. The lesson was unforgettable. Karen accepted the court's decision with professionalism. She acknowledged that ownership records should have been verified. The experience changed how future projects would be handled. Everyone learned an important lesson. Daniel returned to the waterfall just before sunset. The sound of rushing water brought back childhood memories. He smiled, knowing the land remained protected. Peace had finally returned. Neighbors thanked Daniel for preserving the natural beauty of the area. The waterfall remained open through proper agreements rather than confusion. His thoughtful approach earned widespread respect. The community appreciated his leadership. The waterfall continued flowing just as it had for generations. Nature remained untouched by unnecessary conflict. Daniel honored his family's promise to protect the land. Its beauty would inspire future generations. Daniel carefully placed the original deed back into its protective case. One document had safeguarded thousands of acres. Patience and preparation had preserved his family's legacy. He looked toward the waterfall with pride. Daniel walked home, knowing the truth had prevailed. His family's land was protected for generations to come. Sometimes the strongest victories come through patience and the law.